So your client comes to you with a tough decision they need to make. It's weighing on them. You can see it. It's heavy, and you can see it in their body expression. You can hear it in the way the words are coming out, maybe slow, maybe a little bit painful. This is a touchy issue for them. It could cause them some pain as they work through it. So you ask them, what do you want to work on today? And they say, I've got this issue that is just feels complex or painful. Here are some examples of what it's been like for me. Is there's a staff decision to make. Somebody's not working out is exactly like I would like them to, or it could be a financial situation where it just doesn't feel like there's a good option on how to get out of this financial. It's going to be a lose-lose kind of situation. It's a tough decision that they need to make. And here's the mistake that I've made. Let me put that out right out front in this video. The mistake I've made is I'm assuming they haven't thought this through at all. I start what I think is at the beginning, and partially is because I'm not afraid, but maybe I'm just a little nervous because I can see how painful this is. It's like they've, stepped in some thorns, and I want to be very careful how I approach them so that it doesn't feel like I'm causing them more pain than necessary. But here's the real issue. I don't know how far they've processed this without doing some checking in first. I do not want to explore the tough decision until I know how much exploration they've done already. So there's three options, I think, for where they could be. One is the client is confused. They're simply confused. They have this issue before them. It feels murky. They haven't explored it at all. And what I can do as a coach, and what I probably would do automatically if I wasn't more careful, is start to begin, tell me more about this issue. How did it start? I got to be really careful here not to help them explore, how does somebody else in the group see it? That's the kind of question I want to ask so that they can begin to have a better understanding of the problem itself. However, many times I've found when coaching a tough decision, they already have explored this. They've already talked to some people. They've already talked to the people involved. They already have gathered some information, and they know that. So they may not be confused. The client may be in a situation where they're considering their options. And if I start in on, that they're confused, I'm wasting a lot of time processing something they've already processed. So they may not be there. They may be at this other level where they are considering options. Now, if this is the case, what they want to explore is not the problem, but they want to explore the options. How can they create fuller, better options? Think that all the way through. They're probably open to more options. And so we can kind of, as we're working with them through the options they've already considered, we could ask them a question like, what are some of the best features of the options you have so far? And maybe that'll spur another option in their mind. And that's really where they need to do the work. They need to think about what the options are. But the truth is, I've found a third level, if you will, when I'm coaching a tough decision that always shows itself at the very end of the conversation, because I'll ask them, what do you want to do? And they already know what they want to do. They knew what they wanted to do before the conversation even began. They, in many ways, as we were just walking them through understanding the problem better, or maybe considering all the options, they were just being nice. Or maybe they thought, oh, the coach knows best. I need to reprocess all this information with them. Maybe they'll have a better idea. And what we find out is they already know what they want to do. And so really the coaching isn't around understanding the problem or considering more options. It's about what it will take for them to take most likely a difficult action. They have to make a choice between two bad choices, or maybe they have to make a choice between two good choices. It's a tough decision, but they already are leaning one way or even decided this is what I'm going to do, but they bring the topic up to us as if they haven't. So what we need to do is right up front, when you get something that feels like it's a tough decision and it's got a lot of weight to it and you feel like it's heavy, you need to work with your client to come to an agreement on what it is exactly you're going to work on in the session. Are you going to work through some confusion? Are you going to work through some options? Or are you going to work through taking action on this? And truthfully, you could work through all three, and that may be the situation you're in. But I've just found on multiple occasions, particularly that they already have some options available. They just need to choose one, or they've already decided what they're going to do. And so you need to explore that place in the process they are at first, or you end up wasting a lot of time with your client. Be sure and subscribe so you don't miss any of our great content.